What's up YouTube, it's your girl Yaya and I'm here with another video. As you can see, I found the Africanas in España, in Madrid. Oh my god, like she killed this. I really, look, yo quiero trenzas. I wanted trenzas so bad. That's how you say braids, I believe. The most beautiful thing about these braids is the fact that I only paid 60 euros, which is about 70 USD for these pretty much buttonly. Let me show y'all. For 60 euros, these easily in the States. $200. When I'm talking about 100 and something, they would have been like $200. She killed it. Like, look at the party. Look at the way she did the colors, y'all. I feel like, baby, welcome to the party. Like, I love it. This video, guys, was kind of hard for me to just go and do it and just to be transparent, because a lot of times when people ask me, they're like, oh my god, you moved abroad, it's so amazing, wow, yes, and I'm like, yeah, it's amazing, it's perfect, nothing's wrong, all good. And it's like, I just didn't want to bring them off of their high that they were on, because it is exciting, it is fun, God is showing out. Like, I'm very thankful. So I part of me felt like sharing some of what has been going on would take away from that, and I realized that's not my portion to carry, and that's not life. So I released that, and that's why we're doing this video today. I'm going to do them in numbers so that I can stay on track.
Numero uno.
I'm just like super excited, y'all. I'm hanging out the window. I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful. Like, I'm just like, EUROPE, that's me. Like, I'm just so excited. And then I pull it to my flat and the cab stop, and I'm like, sir, like, what's going on? This is the ghetto. Hold on, let me confirm the address. Y'all, this was me for real. Let me show you how it was. Let me show y'all. No, sir. No, sir. Yeah, I was like, Jesus, if you wanted me to stay, go live in the hood, I could have stayed home. I told that man, I said, sir, lock the door. I don't know what's going on, but I will not be staying here. Seriously, guys. And the hood, that's no problem for me. I grew up in really both sides of the spectrum with that. The thing is, what I won't do is an international hood. Absolutely not. I ain't staying in no international ghetto, because let me say something about this. I won't speak on the hood in other countries or states, but let me talk about Florida, okay, or Tampa. Baby, it's very much like, especially if you grew up in that area, it's very much like, hi, hello, how you doing? Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm doing good. Yep, I'm gonna start school this semester. Yes, ma'am. All right, be blessed. It's very much like they just nosy and stuff like that. But I'm not going to no international hood. No, it looked like the street signs was throwing up gang signs when I pulled up. So I was like, absolutely not, God. Like, I have came all the way over here. Please, is this what you have for me? I literally was telling that man to take me back to the airport in the most broken Spanish. I was like, yo voy aeropuerto, sí, claro. But it turns out that he actually went down the wrong block. He went down the wrong block. So that was not my neighborhood. We pulled up to the actual correct street, and it was perfect for me. I came into my flat, and it's beautiful, and I was extremely thankful because I wasn't staying there. I know that's not what the Lord had for me. No, ma'am.
Numero dos.
Was riding the metro. I know. Listen to me. Listen. Escúchame. Listen. Because being from Florida, especially Tampa, Florida, I think that's how you do it. Florida. Anyway, you either have a car if you need to get somewhere, ride your bike, maybe, even that, sketch is so hot. The city bus is so unreliable. It's nothing like if you live in like the city where you have like set schedules. Sometimes bus don't show up. You don't know when it's coming or it's going. Public transportation is just not huge. So for me, being a woman, being a black woman, especially and by myself, that was something huge for me, and I realized I had a lot of fear when it came to it, because it's kind of like, think about anytime you in a sketch area, your thought is, let me get in my car. You remove the car out of the equation, now you got your hands, and it's like, yeah, I know how to fight, but would you rather fight somebody or run them over with a car? Exactly. And so that was huge. Going through that, it's like anytime somebody was close to me, I'm like, do you want to die? Like, why is you on my neck? Forget COVID. Like, why are you right here? Why can I feel you breathing? So for me, that was like really big. And then I'm like, dang, like, are you saved? Because I want to kill you and then you going to hell. Now look. So that was something I had to like really overcome. It was hard, but God really has been working on that and removing that, and I'm very thankful for my metro ride experiences, because it has allowed me to tap into a new level of just knowing, like, when God is for you, who could be against you? And now my angel's running deep, period. And then I don't have to be scared or fearful. Now I be like, what's up? Because I thought somebody said something.
Número 3.
Me getting lost. Getting lost here is not like getting lost back home. For me, it's like you just re-put it in your GPS, you drive, you maybe make a U-turn. No, here when you get lost, it's like you 15 minutes walking, you down this dark alley, you down here, you in a whole nother city, ain't no metro, it's dark. And again, having to overcome fear. That was, I'd only been here like maybe 4 days at the time, 4 or 5 days. I had came back from just stepping out of my comfort zone, guys, and going on a trip with complete strangers and sharing a room with these 2 girls. It did not go that great. I almost had to run up on them. Anyways, but overall, I still had a good experience. But when I came back from the trip, it was like almost 1 a.m. when we finally came back from the trip. I conquered the metro. I found out where I was going. Bam. I'm like, it said it was only 3 minutes away. Something's wrong. So I'm walking now, mind y'all, I got the suitcases in my hand, and I'm just like, it's late. And then I felt like there was this guy behind me. He was catcalling, you know, and I didn't know what he was saying in Spanish, but he was definitely trying to like get my attention. And it was just super sketch where I was at. The guy is following me. So I'm just like, oh my God. I found the most lit area that I could find. And I just decided to just get a cab, get in the car with the cab, and I give the guy the address, and he looked like, this right there. And I was like, mind your business. You in my business? Don't do that. Don't do that. And so he dropped me off, and it was real quiet in the car. Like, he was so confused. Y'all, that cost me 10 euros. 10 euros, which was about like almost 15 USD for a 1 to 2 minute cab ride. I guess because it was late, I don't know. When I finally arrived in my house, I was done. Like, I was literally in my flat. I was in my flat, like, that was it. That's it for me. I came here, like you said, and I tried, and yeah. These people want to play. I ain't got no time. Really had to reevaluate myself and say, dang, one, I know in my shanana, like all up in there, I felt the Holy Spirit tug on my heart to go that way. And I chose fear. It was like fear was pulling on me, and then I felt the Holy Spirit pulling on me, and ultimately I went this way because it was comfortable, because it was familiar. But really, that could have been avoided. So I have learned, fear, you have no place here. There's no room for you here. You cannot live here. You died a long time ago. Goodbye. And now, girl, I be walking down the train at LAX with the dream of my cardigan. Like, seriously. And I really had to make a decision to say, I'm not leaning into that no more. I'm not tapping into that anymore because it's leading me to a dead place. Ain't nothing dead over here, okay? Fresh fruit. This issue was one of my professors in particular. We were not meshing well. I remember I was in class and another professor asked me, how's everything going? And I didn't have the Spanish words to say. I just broke down and just started crying. Like, I'm talking about snot out the nose, boo-hoo crying. If you guys don't know, I am currently a level 1 Spanish speaker. Like, it's pretty much me learning the language from scratch. So with that being said, and my teachers only speaking Spanish, the teacher in particular that I was having an issue with, she spoke some English, but she doesn't understand hardly any English. Basically what was happening is she was trying to understand my personality and I was trying to understand hers as well. But she had already determined certain things about me that just really wasn't true. She was, I guess, getting frustrated with the fact that there were certain things I wasn't understanding. She was literally saying to me, like, she's like, I don't know how to help you. I don't know how to help you. I don't know what to say. Like, she was like, you gotta want it. But she's saying this in like English and Spanish. And for me, I'm trying to express to her what I need help with, what I'm getting lost on. But she doesn't speak any English really. My voice was kind of just taken because she was able to just freely talk and say what she felt. But then when I would, my turn to express, I'd be like, you know, un momento, like I would try and get the Google Translate. She would like, it's okay, no. And then she would just continue on with the lesson while I'm sitting here carrying these emotions. It was just like, imagine you speaking and you be like, but it was just like everything was just being taken from me. Like I had no voice and it just felt like I was being abused because I'm just sitting there experiencing like almost like getting hit. And it was just like, I can't tell you how I feel because I don't know how to express it, because I don't have the vocabulary and you don't understand what I'm saying. So once I broke down crying and stuff like that, I went home and I was like, Jesus, like I had nothing to say but Jesus because I didn't know what to do. And in that mess, I just remember saying, I'm the peace. God is peace and God is within me. I'm the peace. Sometimes I feel like in life, like especially our generation, we're very emotionally led. We move by our emotions, we move by our feelings, we let them determine everything in our lives, and that's not necessarily how it's supposed to be. So I decided, I remember the day I sat at my table and I said, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna shift. Okay, and I'm gonna see what happens. I never do it like this, but I'm gonna see what happens if, one, I do better with my studying, okay, because I do need to do better. I don't allow certain words to just sit on me so heavy. So I remember I went into class and I just was like, I'm the peace. And I took control of the situation of saying, I'm not gonna let that affect me. I'm not gonna let that bother me. I'm here to learn, and that's what we're gonna do. And I started shifting. A translator at my school came and expressed like both of our emotions and how we were feeling. And now we're on the same page, guys. I actually enjoy the class. I get her personality and how she is. She's understanding me more and more. And I feel like our lesson and understanding is just a lot better. But what changed first wasn't her. It wasn't that she was letting me speak or that we was understanding each other now. It wasn't any of that. The only thing that changed first was me, my perspective, and me going in saying, I'm going to choose to be the peace because peace goes with me wherever I go, even if I'm in turmoil. So that was actually a huge thing that I learned, and I'm so thankful for the experience because now I just feel like with anything, Like, I determine on how I let you treat me. I determine on if those words are going to affect me. I determine that. I do not have to be emotionally led. I do not have to tap into that. So I'm very thankful for the experience, and I'm thankful that her and I are on a better page. But baby, I was really about to head out, y'all, again. I was like, Jesus, what more do you want from me? It was a mess.
Número 5.
I don't know if y'all can hear this dog barking, but it's making me so mad. Feed it, do something. I came here, as you guys know, on faith and faith alone, leaning into God's purpose for my life and understanding for my life and not my own. Like, especially for me, it was hard because I have my whole life mapped out. I'm like, I'm gonna do nursing because nursing is gonna get me to really what I feel like I'm purpose for and I'm passionate about. And at this age, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. Like, you guys remember the MASH game? Okay, I pretty much had created my own MASH, I think it's called, for my life. And I know a lot of us do that, and it's really not what God has for us. It's like God was just pulling in my heart, like, that's so small-minded, that's so simple, and I'm so big. You're boxing me, and I'm not a God that can be boxed. And now I'm here. I didn't tell a lot of people this. But originally, my first day that I was supposed to be arriving here, I was actually coming to Europe with 40 USD, $40, and that was about maybe 25 euros. Yeah, faith. Because I was like, God told me that he's going to provide. God told me that the vision is paid for. God told me that he's going to carry me. God told me that I'm going to have more than enough. Abundance, abundantly. So even though I'm coming here with only 25 euros, I'm gonna just cook. I can cook, and you know what? If I run out of food, I fasted before. I can drink water. I was like, I don't care, because this is what God said for me, so why would he fail me? God is the keeper of promises, guys. He is not like these niggas, okay? He is not that. He is the keeper of promises. So everything that he said to me, I knew would come to pass. So I was like, I'm getting on this plane with my $25, okay? And it is what it is. I know that he will provide. Literally, guys, I went to a family member's house. They were praying over me. I got up and they were like, I have been watching you and your faith has moved me. So I felt led and I want to give you this. And they handed me $1,000, guys. Mind you, nobody knew that not even my mom, nobody knew I was coming there with 25 freaking, it was like 25 euros, guys. And my heart was just so, it was just confirmation on top of confirmation, because I went in, I was getting on that plane with $25. I didn't care because I just was standing on, I know what God said. And before I got on that plane, I was handed $1,000. You can't tell me, my God. I had $25, y'all. What I was gonna do with that? I don't know. Something else people, of course, didn't know was the fact that prior to arriving to my school, the tuition had to be paid in full. The tuition was about 6,000 US. No, it was about 7,000 USD. I came here without the tuition paid. I went to class without the tuition paid. And I was just in there every day like, I don't know, God. Because God told me that this vision was also going to have sponsors, that the vision was paid in full, and that I was going to have sponsors. I don't know who they were. He never revealed them to me, but I have had people come a long time, but the vision still isn't paid in full yet. But he's told me that, you know, I'm getting email from them saying, hey, we haven't received your payment. You know you can't be here without payment or whatever. And I'm just like pretending like I ain't get the email. I'm still showing up to class every day. I'm just like, do it, Jesus. I don't know. So then finally the head honcho, which is the financial advisor, she was like, hello, I need to see you tomorrow, first thing in the morning. Please bring your method of payment because we need to process the $7,000 that you owe us. And then she also put in there, she was like, if the payment is not made or cannot be made, unfortunately, you would be here illegally because you're on a student visa and you have failed to pay, which would mean I would have to report it to the authorities and you have to be deported immediately. And I'm not gonna cry. I was devastated. I think because I was just like, this is so uncomfortable, God. Like, I'm just doing what you said. And financially, you know some of the things I've been through, and I would never have put myself in this situation. I would never do anything like this. But you said to go forth. And I'm standing on your promises. So I was just like in my flat. Just like, I'm talking about, I cried out to God. I hadn't cried out like that before. I cried out to God like never before. And I got a piece of paper, y'all. I got a book, and I wrote down how much money I needed. And I just put it up to the sky. Listen, you know you love when you, I just put it up to the sky. I ain't even say no words, y'all. I was like this. I was like, and then I just started saying to God what he told me. I was like, you said to go forth. You said that the vision was paid in full. You said I would have more than enough. You said this, Father. You said this, and I'm just standing on your word. You said all I had to do was have faith of a mustard seed. Look at me, God. You said. And I just put it up to the air. Now, mind y'all, my rent needed to be paid now, and the tuition needs to be paid now, all on the same day. So I ended up needing about $9,000, and I needed it in one day. So I was facing being kicked out of my apartment and deported. So last night, the night before, I felt like David. You know the story of David? But like in the sense of having to go before a giant. You know, I felt like this was one of my David moments where I had to go forth and stand before a giant and stand bold and say, move. You will not defeat me. Like, I had to look at a mountain and say, move. And so I got up that morning and I prayed the whole way there, and I was like, you gotta do it, God. You gotta do it, God. Thank God for these masks, y'all, because I was in there speaking in tongues underneath that mask, and I was in the office, and the lady was like, she spoke English and Spanish. She was like, all right, so what's going on? And I was like, I heard God say, tell her what I told you. And I was like, you want me to tell her that the sponsors are coming and I don't even know who they are? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, my sponsors are coming and they're gonna pay for the tuition. She was like, I didn't get any email from any sponsors. Who are they? What's their organization name? And I was like, there are a lot of them. They're different people. They're from all over. Some from my church. Some I don't know. They're sponsoring me. And she was like, so who's gonna pay this? And I was just like, my sponsors are gonna pay. And she looked at me like I was crazy, y'all. She was like, all right. She said, I will not ignore all the effort that I'm sure it took for you to get here. And I was like, Jesus. Because it took me a lot to get here. Like, and she doesn't even know the half. Like, she don't know the half. She was like, we don't do this ever. But since you're already here, shade. She was like, what I can do for you is this and only this. She said, I will give you 2 payment options. She said, I will give you option A, which gives you 7 days for your sponsors. And she looked like, sponsors, my She was like, for your sponsors to pay this. Or She said, if you end up not having sponsors for some reason or whatever, she said, I will give you option D. She said, which will allow you to pay the first payment still in 7 days, but instead of paying us the full, like $7,000, you can pay us $4,000, and then you pay the rest by December like the 6th or something like that. And I just sat there in disbelief that the fact that God had shown me great favor, because I was supposed to make the payment right then, right there in that moment, period. And so the fact that she gave me more time, that even happened for me was favor. And I was thankful. And I left and I called my mom. I texted my mom and told her. And we were just so thankful because, we both were just praying about it. Then about a few hours later, I got a notification for someone who wants to be made anonymous. So from one of my sponsors. And they said, I would like to pay for a portion of your tuition and towards your rent. So in about 1 day, that I was able to get my rent paid for and part A of my tuition. And I was just really thankful because I'm not gonna cry. I'm always gonna cry, but because I didn't know how, I didn't know what. But what I learned is just the fact that sometimes, guys, you have to go before the giant and stand boldly on what God said. And it's maybe uncomfortable, it may feel crazy, but you have to, because you have the authority to say move. So that was one of those moments for me, and I was extremely thankful. Now, I never know how my rent getting paid each month, all right? But it's being paid. And I never know how random stuff happens where people just message me and say, hey, I felt led to do this. And they may not know, but I know. And it's just, anyways, this is really, really beautiful to see God's promises come forth, because he loves me so much. He loves us so much. And I'm so appreciative of it. So now part 2 of my tuition still is due December 6th, but God gonna do it. Just like I didn't know how my rent was getting paid up until today, and God did it. So, just show out, Lord. I'm in a space where it's just like, just show out. Just show out. Just show out. I'm here. I'm seeking you. Just show out. I'm pulling on you. I believe you. Just show out. All right, guys. So that was pretty much some of my reasoning, some of the things that I have been going through while just transitioning here. In closing, I really wanted to just say that anything, guys, it's going to take a process. It may be uncomfortable. It may even be scary, but everything in life has its own process to it. And know that God uses everything. Literally nothing in your life will ever be unused. Even the very things that you sit and say, there's no way. God has a beautiful thing of turning around and making it work in your favor. And he makes everything beautiful. He makes everything new. So as I'm going through this, as I'm experiencing this, I'm just choosing to lean in. I'm choosing to just lean in. And I'm just thankful for everything. You just keep giving thanks despite what's going on. He be like, what? Yeah, I'm giving thanks because I know that everything works together for the good of the lamb. So as I'm leaning in, guys, I hope that you will lean in with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys were able to get a perspective of what's been happening and what's going on in my life. And I hope that you guys are doing well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys, and share this video. Share. Other people need to know what you watching, what's going on. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys for watching, and stay forever blessed.
She ain't got no way but got thighs. Hop in the coupe and let's ride. I put Chanel on her eyes. 2 carry for surprise. Maybe